Hello, ladies, gents, and that monster under the bed. I am your host, and I welcome you to my channel. Last time I finished the coding section of the Big Yarnball Planet, and this time I will be starting on the graphics section. I've also finished the graphical section, so I'll just say I'll be doing the graphical section. And before I start, I hope you like my upgraded mask guy. I spent quite a bit of time on doing all this. He looks very nice, and I like him very much. Anyway, let's begin. Now, I wanted to start by putting down a rough sketch of what I wanted my main character, the rocket he flies around in, and the local currency to look like. For my main character, I had three ideas. I could do a sort of fleshed out stick figure. Very basic, not that fun. I could do what is pretty much just me, or my favourite design, Mr. Goober. I like Mr. Goober a lot, I've drawn him a couple times before this project. Anyway, rocket designs. I had two in mind, one that's not the best, you'd probably see it now, the classic cartoon design, but the other one, which I'm writing out a list of what I want for it, is essentially just a cobbled together mess, which makes sense because of how the lore is for the game. I want the rocket to seem like it was cobbled together by Mr. Goober, and that's what I'm calling him now. His name is going to be David Montgomery Goober. He's essentially going to cobble together the rocket to get to the different planets. So it's not going to be a very traditional looking rocket. It's going to have colanders for windows. It's going to have half a sailboat. There's going to be a hamster on a treadmill powering a microwave. That's where I make my lunch. It's actually a very efficient solution. You should try it sometime. Anyway, that's my general idea for the rocket, and it is what I'll be using going forward. It's going to be very, very annoying to draw out in different graphical styles, but I've committed to this now. Now, in terms of currencies, there are quite a few ideas I could choose from that I've had. The first idea is a hand, for some reason. I don't remember why I've done this. The second idea was a cat's face. The third idea was the hand petting the cat's face. All three of those don't seem the best. The fourth idea, which is more reasonable, is a fish, because cats eat fish. And the fifth idea, which I landed upon, was a cat toy No, don't write that. That's illegal. That's Bugs Bunny. Now, for the final character design, I went with the guy poking over the wall, Mr. Goober. He has a very unique shape to him, so it just makes it for a very nice and fun character design. I'll let you sit back and relax while I doodle away at the drawing. It really took a while doing this, didn't I? Could have zoomed in as well. It's a bit awkward. Oh, there we are, zoomed in. Brilliant. Now I'm redoing the rocket again, the same rocket design that I've chosen to do in the previous preliminary sketches, but I'm gonna make it look a little nicer just for future reference, so then I have a better reference when I make different iterations of this rocket. Now, I've sped this up greatly because it took me just under 2 hours to do all this. It was a real pain, but worth it in the end. Alright, bye-bye. Now, the main element I added to this design is really somewhere for Mr. Goober to sit, because previous design did not have one at all. And the perfect place for someone to sit in is an upside down treehouse. So I'm drawing the treehouse now, and I'm going to just stick it into the rocket. Very, very good solution. Not going to backfire in any possible way whatsoever. Of course it backfires. The glass is not clear, and some of the white space is see-through, so I'm going to have to rub out all the white space that I want to see through and colour in all the white space that I don't want to see through. Amazing. There we are, final thing done. Next thing I started was the assets. I started with the background for the big yarn ball planet, and the reason why this video clip is starting halfway through is because I managed to accidentally close my recording software and lose about an hour and a half of recordings, specifically of me just doing this part. I went on a break to go outside to the duck pond. It was a very nice duck pond, by the way. And that's almost done. Now, once it's finished, I can pop it into Unity and use that as the background image. After a week of procrastinating, I went into Unity and popped this image as the background image for the program. I've done it, and I'm just going to show you here. Here it is, looks so much nicer already. Don't even need the rest of the UI, I need the rest of the UI. The next order of business was to create a better font for this planet, which I did by tracing over one of Unity's old asset fonts. I wanted to make it look crappily drawn, so I'm crappily drawing right over it. One downside of this method is that colouring fonts gets quite finicky. So if I want to have, say, a white version of this, I will have to go back into the font asset and change it all to white. Very much annoying. Annoyingly, I'm in England, but there is no pound sign, so I'm using the dollar sign. And what I'm doing right now is replacing the dollar sign with my chosen currency. It's essentially a cat toy. I don't remember if I've said what it is. It's a cat toy that I have around the house that my cats often play with. And that's pretty much it. Back in Unity, font's all done, just gotta attach it to the button. You can see it right now. I'm gonna change the color to white or else the colored money sign will not show up properly. I'm gonna type out every single letter because of course I have to demonstrate my point. And in a minute you'll see the money sign. It'll look very nice and very lovely. I'm glad I did this demonstration, but I don't really know why it's going to be so long. Next I go on to drawing the buttons for the UI, and you might be asking yourself, Mr. Nihilatio, how come you're drawing the buttons, but you said you'd be using PNGs for these buttons, you'd be using PNGs of cats? Well, I answer you, I am using PNGs of cats. I've taken photos of my cats, and I'm going to stick them onto the buttons, which I am going to draw. And here we have all the photos I'm going to use, such a cute little kitten, and her fat uncle. They're not related, but that's what I call them. The cute little kitten and the fat uncle. Anyway, enough of the cute kittens, I'm gonna get on with it. I'm gonna make a simple button here. I'm gonna make it look like the edges are chamfered by shading it in a nice way. The different edges are gonna be... It's just gonna look like that, to be honest. I don't have a really good way of explaining it. And now I spend an eternity trying to figure out how to import an image. Waiting for the image to import. Now I need to scale the image, which I also need to figure out how to do for some reason. Go on. There you go. Scale the image, import the image. Just gonna make sure it looks nice and fix the corners because they need fixing now. Because of how the image and the corners align. I really don't have a better way of explaining these things. Please someone tell me if there's a better way of explaining these things. I'm not going to do a video every single time I need to add another asset onto the thing, so here's a picture. The upgrade buttons are going to follow a similar scheme to the main button that you click. We're going to have chamfered edges, it's going to look three-dimensional, and I'm going to slap on a PNG for every single one. Hey, how are you holding up? Is all this drawing monotonous and annoying for you? Because it somewhat was for me until I started enjoying it. Hopefully you start enjoying it to around the 20-minute, 22-second mark. Okay, I'll give you a video for this one because of how I've done the button. It's a blank button currently, so there's no cat image on there. I'm going to have to add the cat image on as I go. So I'm just going to add a panel to each button and put the cat image on the button. On the button panel, not the button. That's the difference. Because you can't apparently have more than one image on a button, which makes no sense. Anyway, I'm going to just show you one of these, then cut to when it's all done. Have fun! Ooh, would you look at that? The magic of editing has done it again. All the cat images are on all the buttons now. Brilliant, amazing, cool. Why am I being so excited about a button and a minute and an image? I'm already going insane. Final thing I'm going to do today, so let's see if I can make it to the end of the video at the very least. I'm going to do a backing for the pet counter, so then it's easier to look at. I'm just going to do the inverse of the button scheme, so then it looks like the pet counter is inset into the screen. And I'm doing it in a dark colour, so then I can use a white font on the pet counter. That's about it. Have fun with the drawing. I'm going slowly mad. Here we are for the last time today, back in Unity. Don't look at my saving system, it's honestly embarrassing how disorganised it looks. I'm just going to grab the right asset, pop it onto the blank panel that I made earlier, just for this occasion, especially for this occasion. I've already added the money symbol, so that doesn't need to be done. That's all finished. Gonna just play it now to show you how much better this looks. I've also managed to figure out a full screen Unity, which was annoying last time. Alright, gotta wait forever for this to load. It's really annoying how long this takes to load. Look at that, it's so much better than previously. I'm gonna do a lot of balancing though, and a lot of changes to, maybe minor changes to the assets. And that's done! And that's all you get to see of this planet's making process. I don't want to show any more because I have plenty of secrets I want to keep in my pockets. So you'll just have to wait and see when you buy the game. If the game ever comes out, that is. If I don't procrastinate for 5 hours. Anyway. For now, I'll pop this all into a video, ship it off to YouTube, and see you next time. Goodbye.
There she is, the star of the hour. Hello, Nara. How are you today? She's sleepy right now, but she's such a menace other times. She's made so many holes in so many people. Their legs, not anywhere else. Legs and bum, mainly. Apparently, we're climbing posts, which is very annoying and very painful. You are such a cute little menace, and you're sleeping in my chair that I used to record in. Okay, bye.